Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Cougarlicious Clubhouse. Oh, we've got such a great show for us today. We have got the fabulous Robin Shaw, who you've heard all around Las Vegas. She's been on the Strip. She's been in several different clubs. She's traveling around the country. She's great. And then we also have the wonderfully funny Louie Carbone, who has years of experience, and he's going to be sharing some wonderful stories with us on his travels. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. The road to comedy, how they knew that they would be a comedian. I mean, I knew that I could be a comedian because I've been turning awkward moments into one-liners since the rotary phone. Take it away.
Cougarlicious, in my power I rise with every step I take. I light up the skies, celebrating me. I'm a star shining bright, enjoying all the eye candy under the moonlight. Oh, cougarlicious, watch me take my stand, moving to the beat. Come and take my hand.
I never, ever, ever get tired of that song. Cougarlicious. Yes, here we are again at the Cougarlicious Clubhouse. And today we have some spectacular guests, Robin Shaw and Louie Carbone. But before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors, Linder Health Skincare. That's right, it's health care for your skin. I have been using it for years and I absolutely love it. And if you go on to linderhealth.com/Donna, order some product and you'll get a free gift. It's just like you said, Donna sent me, and they'll be happy to send you a gift. So be sure you go ahead and do that. And later on in the show, now remember, we're going to be talking about our summer sweepstakes. Yes, and that's for people who have shared, and subscribed to this channel. Remember, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and there's no cost at all to enter. So just subscribe, say a little hello in the comments, and you'll be entered into our summer sweepstakes where you'll be getting some special gifts. And we're going to tell you about it at the end of the show. So stay tuned to the end of the show. Okay? All righty. So now I got all that housekeeping out of the way, and we could get started to some fun stuff. And like I said, we have the fabulous Robin Shaw and the very funny Louie Carbone, and I'd like to welcome you both.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Both to the show.
How come I'm the funny guy and she's the fabulous one?
Well, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy.
You could have said good looking. You could have said something, but no, the funny guy and fabulous one. There you go.
The tragically handsome. The tragically handsome Louie Carbone. How's that? Do you like that one? Okay.
By the way, I gotta tell you something.
What?
You send me directions, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know what to wear today.
You didn't?
No, because you have a list.
Yeah.
That says you can't wear green.
Right.
I said, okay, that goes out. If you wear white, you got to wear black. Okay. If you have one blue eye and one green eye, you can't wear brown. It's like, what do I wear?
I think you look fabulous. That's it.
Yeah.
He looks wonderful. Doesn't he look good, Robin?
I think it looks great.
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
And you look fabulous as well, my dear.
Thank you.
Yes.
Pretty in pink today.
Yeah, very nice.
Yes.
Very nice. So tell us, what have you been up to?
Nothing too crazy. I'm actually planning a trip back east, originally from just outside of DC, and actually it's crazy. I'm taking a red eye, and then the same day within a 24-hour period, I'm actually going to do a show, my second time to perform locally in my hometown.
How fun is that?
Pretty excited. There's a comedy club in Gaithersburg, Maryland. It's called Give a Hoot Comedy Club. And on the weekend shows, portions of the proceeds go to the community and specific charities and stuff like
Wonderful.
that. So it's really exciting because I'll be on the same stage like the popular comedian Dat Fan. He's going to be there in a few.
Dat Fan.
He'll be there in a few weeks. Obviously not when I'm there, but not quite. I'm not quite that cool yet. But and my sister's actually, what it is it's a restaurant, and then connected to their dining room on the weekends is when they open up and turn their dining room into a huge comedy club, and it seats about 50 to 75 people. So I am going to fly in a red eye. They have a really long day, but probably up for, I don't know, maybe 36 hours, because who can sleep on airplanes unless you're on drugs? And then I have the shows at 8 o'clock that day. So I've got to keep hopefully squeeze in a nap.
Now, will people be coming in, people in the community that know you?
Yes.
They will,
yeah.
So I bet you they're very, very excited about that.
That was actually,
Yes.
when I was back east last year, because I go visit my dad. My dad lives out there. He's not 100%. He's not the healthiest happiest horse in the world, but he's going strong. He doesn't really go anywhere, so he can't come to my show, but I go to see him, and the fact that I'm so excited that I can actually like have a chance to do comedy, and I did it last year, and we packed the entire place because everybody, even though my performance is during an open mic, it's like I'm the featured like headliner of the evening. They're like, we've never had it completely packed on a Wednesday night before.
Of course not.
And last year they did it, and we're going to do it again this year.
And the thing is that you're a Las Vegas comic. That's it. I mean, you're talking about a very small. Who's pinging?
Me, sorry. I thought I put it on silent. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was going, who's pinging?
Yeah.
When you have that whole Las Vegas comic coming to a small community, that's very exciting.
Oh yeah.
That's a draw right there. And then of course, if you know people and if you're related to people, then that's even better, because that's what happens to me a lot when I go back into Connecticut. I go back and I'll do a small show here and there, and it's always, I don't know, they come out of the woodwork. Where are these people coming from? And there was it's an exciting moment, and it's so fun to share,
for sure.
That kind of happiness, with people, and bring a little bit of joy to their lives. So,
and it's crazy because I never thought that I was from a small town, and then I looked at the numbers recently of how big Las Vegas is compared to my hometown, and it's like ours is like, from like a consensus from like 2021, it was like 700,000 people or something are in Vegas, which I'm sure it's more now, but my hometown was only like 70,000, and I was like.
Clark County has got what, 2 million?
Okay, so this was like the last consensus. I believe it was 2021, the one that I looked at, but it's what Siri told me. But it was just one of those things I didn't know, and I could have sworn that my hometown was a lot bigger. So I guess not.
It seems like that when you're younger.
Yeah, maybe,
doesn't it?
For sure. That's
it's a lot more
is.
people.
Yeah.
That's funny. So, but tell me, how is it? How did your journey begin in comedy? How did you?
Crazy was when I was 21, 5 years ago. No, when I was 21, almost 20 years ago, I remember I was actually working in a restaurant, and I made a couple of my guests laugh on more than one occasion, and they were like, "You should be a comic," and it just kind of stayed back there for the longest time, and I never really had the creative outlet or opportunity. And I've lived in Vegas now for 13 years, and it was probably 4.5 years ago when Wise Guys first opened, and I was encouraged, like, hey, you should give it a try. And I had no idea what I was doing, but I remember I had a page with probably what it has over the years graduated into probably 20 different jokes, but I went through this entire page of stories in 3 minutes. I still got some laughs, but obviously, work it out and make it better. And
that's it. You just really have to get on stage, and do it, and you have to really kind of find your timing and all of that. And then the thing is, and I think Louie will probably agree with this, is that, as you get older, sometimes you don't remember too much. You'll forget something in mid-sentence, but to an audience, it's timing.
Of course, yes.
You forget.
Yeah, and then you're trying to say everything you want to say, and then you realize they're not going to get the joke because I'm talking too fast. That too.
That's right. You got to take your time and let them hear it, and let them absorb it.
Yeah, like how good you're hearing. No.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's all, but it's all part of the game. It's all part of the performance.
For sure.
Yeah. And Louie, you've been knocking around for quite a while, haven't you? You've opened
I came here to do stand up. I kind of gave it up after a year and a half of the crap that you have to do to work Vegas back in the 1992-93 area.
It was different than today?
Oh, much different.
How is that different?
We had good we had the Comedy Store, we had Catch a Rising Star, we had the Improv. But to work here, you have to go audition in LA.
Is that right?
That's right. So I had a wife and 2 children, and my wife was in the mortgage business, so I got into the mortgage business. So I had to deal with some weird people.
Bet you got a lot of material out of that.
Yeah. So over the course of 30 years, I said, hey, I don't need this. So one night, Steve Pearl is headlining the show. Good friend of mine. And me, Ed Regine, and Steve, and Cliff Lawrence went to go see. So we're sitting in the audience, and they had some open micers. You know how it is here. You got a headliner and 4 whoever they are. They were horrible. So Cliff comes to me, he goes, go back on stage. You were funny. Why don't you go back on stage? No, go back. What do you got to do? So I had to rewrite 1 year open mic. All right, 1 year, just new material. Everything I do now had nothing to do with what I did 30 years ago. Nothing. So that's what I did, and I started getting gigs, and one led to another, and now I'm a Vegas comic. Ooh, maybe I'll pack him in at the pizzeria when I go back. You know.
But you've also opened for some really incredible headliners.
I over the course, I always joke. I said, you know, I opened for Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, impersonators. You know, so, but in reality, I did open for like Tower Power and.
How did you get that gig? Tower. Do you know who Tower of Power is?
No.
Okay.
You have no idea what Tower? Oh,
No.
YouTube them. Best punk band around.
Okay.
El Giro.
Do you know who Al Jarreau is?
Sometimes I know their music versus their actual
Right.
name because I
Right.
grew up. I have a lot of music in
Smokey
my
Robinson.
background. Yes.
Oh, him, you know. All right.
Yes.
Open up for Smokey Robinson, and it was kind of funny. I got to tell you.
Was that
Sean.
here in Vegas?
No, that was back east in Buffalo, where I'm from. It was a place called Melody Fair. It's around. Your stage is in the middle, and audience is around. Now I gotta be the only Caucasian guy in the room, okay? So I opened for him. Great guy, by the way. Wonderful, wonderful man. Did the show. Now what happens is, let's take this table, okay? I came in through here. This is the stage. Now the stage rotates as you're talking.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? So now my set is done. I don't know where I'm at. I just see exit window. Right? I go this way instead of this way. I ended up at the exit outside the venue. So now I walk all the way around. There's a security guard. And he says, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, it was just, I didn't see you. You don't belong here." I couldn't even get him the same venue I just finished my set at. Thank God Smokey Robinson noticed me after his show. His wife goes, "What are you doing out there?" So that was my my
needed to
little
buy a
Smokey
ticket.
Robinson. I needed to buy a ticket to go see me perform. But it was a wonderful venue. Nice people. Smokey Robinson.
And that was
Tower Power
probably in
guys.
the summertime, right?
Yeah. Those are summer shows.
Yeah, that's what they do back east.
But yeah, I've opened up
right?
for
that.
the late Buster Poindexter and remember those guys, Buster Poindexter?
No.
Hot.
Yes.
Okay.
Sing it.
Sing it for me.
Yeah.
I do cover.
Me too.
But anyways, so that's how I got back into stand-up here, and it's much different today than it was. The comics are different.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the topics are different too. I mean, don't you find that, Robin? That
Yeah.
the whole topics of comedy and
For sure.
what people are focusing on, and
Oh, yeah.
and you also have to be. I don't know. I mean, back in the day, you were able to use satire without offending anybody. This type of
You know
thing.
what?
And it's become.
That is true, but I have issues with these new comics coming up. I mean, I love like Nate Bargatze, wonderful. I mean, the A comics are A comics and they're funny. It's the guys that I see here in Vegas. I make fun of myself. I don't make fun of other people. That'll work every time. Okay? It'll work every time. If anything I learned in comedy over the years of me doing it is read your room.
Oh yeah.
People don't read their room anymore.
Nope.
If I'm playing in Sun City, I'm not gonna do jokes that they have no clue what I'm talking about. Okay? For the same thing, I'll work a black club, and I can't talk about old people. You know what I mean? It's a different venue. What happens is, and I sat through a lot of this. I have the 30-second rule, and I know Donna has the 30-second rule. The 30-second rule, if you don't know what it is, you give a punchline in every 30 seconds. I've seen comics tell 2.5 minute stories before they get to the punchline.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't say you did.
Oh
I'm
no.
saying to
I
you,
know what you're saying.
You know,
I agree.
you've
Yeah.
been open, Mike. It's like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
when's it coming? And back when I was doing it, I'll give you an example. Buffalo was close to Toronto. Toronto had a club called Yuck Yucks. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
Okay,
but-
well, Yuck Yucks is a national brand in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I was doing it in the 80s. So I did a showcase at Yuck Yucks in Toronto. Jim Carrey, Norm Macdonald, Mike McDonald were open micing when I did my showcase.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay?
That's amazing.
Give you an idea of the difference in talent of back then than it is today.
Well, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really back in those times. I mean, here on the West Coast, you had the Comedy Store, and you still have the Comedy Store, and basically, Mitzi Shore was the owner of the Comedy Stores then, and she was really. She was really central in pushing a lot of comics
Right.
ahead.
If she liked
they
you,
would
she loved
watch,
you.
and
Right.
then she would continue to
Right.
put you
No.
on. I don't know. Do you? I don't really see a lot of that here. Do you see that
No.
here, Robin? No.
No.
There's not a lot of owners that will basically take the step to basically create their brand of comedy.
Yeah, I
or
don't
club.
see that here.
What I find, no, you're right. What I find here too is in Vegas, guys like me and Ed Regine and Steve Pearl, we're beyond. We have fun doing it.
You're
okay?
beyond. You're
Yeah.
beyond. You're,
You know-
you're
you know what-
beyond.
you know what I'm talking
You're
about, you know?
beyond.
If you work, say wise guys. Wise guys don't want guys like me. They want people like you. You're younger. No, I'm serious.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, okay, it's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Because they can't do anything with me. I mean, you grab somebody. I've never seen your act. You're probably very funny. Okay. They say, you know what? I can use her for different parts. You know what I mean? You go beyond. You get that one knack where you can do.
Well,
acting.
but also,
Okay.
I find that different generations of comedians have different voices.
Correct.
For sure.
Okay, so the voice, Robin is so contemporary. She comes in with such contemporary topics. That is what resonates with your age group. And I think probably the most difficult thing, that I see is being able to transcend through the ages, through the age groups. And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing the Cougarlicious brand and basically trying to include, groups of generations. You're never too old to be a cougar. This type of thing. Or cougars come in every age, and they do, and it resonates like that. And it's one of the things that I really like about Robin, because you are a very independent, a very strong person. I mean, because you came here when on your own, from what I understand,
Yes, in
right?
2013, I moved here.
Yeah, and that's that's pretty brave. That's
Yeah.
very brave. And what prompted you to come to Las Vegas?
A breakup. But, it was a fresh start kind of thing. And also because, you were both from the Northeast United States.
Right.
It's very expensive. And at the time, even though it's more expensive to live here now, but it's still less expensive to live here than it is to live there.
Absolutely.
So, I took an opportunity, and I've worked for the same company for so long. So I was like, I can already have a job. So why not, give it a go.
Right.
Weather's better, and I can swim more often if I really want to. So, there's a lot
You
more
took the
opportunity.
initiative.
I did.
Yeah, and I do think that is definitely something that comes in with an East Coast upbringing. We're really much more, how can I say, ambitious?
Yes.
Attitude-ish.
Yeah.
Pardon me?
Attitude-ish.
Attitude-ish?
Attitude-ish.
Right. I mean, if there's something that you want to do, you go for it and you do it.
Yep.
Okay. And then that's what I try to emulate, and what I really appreciate about different comics from different generations.
Oh, yeah.
That basically get out there, they do the thing, they work hard. You're holding 2 and 3 jobs. I mean, who hasn't done that, right, Louie?
I came out here with a wife and 2 children to do stand-up comedy. I had no job, no nothing. Well, I'll give you a quick. I technically did have a job. I came out 2 months before to see what Vegas was like. I was here from vacation one time, but now I'm looking to live here. So years ago, there used to be a comedy club at the Old Aladdin. I don't know if you remember the Old Aladdin. I gotta talk to her.
I remember that.
I worked. Okay.
This girl, I don't know what I'm talking
there's the
about.
old Aladdin, but then there's Planet Hollywood.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
that building. It's not that building. Okay, I'm just
Old
checking.
Aladdin,
I'm
yes.
just
I know,
checking.
okay.
See, there used to be like just the strip,
Oh, yes,
which
I
was
know.
like a long
I know.
road.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
with-
seen many pictures
Right,
and videos.
exactly.
There you
but
go.
I'm just
Anyway,
checking.
I
It's
digress.
probably black and white, right?
Anyway.
Yes.
There was a show, there was a comedy club downstairs of the Aladdin, and it was run by 2 guys. They were part of the show upstairs in the showroom but they also ran a comedy club downstairs.
Oh,
Mario
nice.
and Danielle. And I don't know if you ever heard of these guys. Nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. So I was staying at the Aladdin because that's where we always stayed. So I said, I asked the guy that, can I do a showcase? He said, sure, come on. So I started talking to him. I said, look, thinking of moving out here, but so let me see what you can do. So I went up there. I did like 15 minutes, and they liked what I did. So afterwards, they said, would you be interested in being a house MC? Oh, no, I'm sorry. They said, can you come back tomorrow and do it again? I said, absolutely. Following day, 15 minutes, different set. Would you be interested in being a house MC? Yeah. Okay, now I got a job. It's nice. I've been here 10 minutes and I got a job.
Vegas,
you
what
go.
a place, right?
Yeah.
Gets better. Get my family, move out here. I get to in front of the Aladdin because we had to stay at the Aladdin before I can get an apartment. Whatever. Sold my house. The day I arrived, they closed down the comedy club.
Oh no.
I have no job.
Oh my God. Oh
So
my God.
that was the start of my career in Vegas. I have a rule. Vegas will eat you up and spit you out in the first year. If you can survive the first year, you're in for life.
Well, I think we're in for life.
I think so.
I
No, it's
think
true.
so.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
true. Because this town is different than Washington or Buffalo or Connecticut, where she's from. It is so transient at the time, especially back then. It was so transient. Now people live here, but back then it was transient, and you don't know the guy's gonna be the nicest guy in the world. He's gonna stab you. You have no idea who the guy was. So people kind of got, gotta be careful where you go.
Yeah.
We used to have stoops and back east. Now we got enclosed backyards and nobody talks to each other. I don't know who my neighbors are.
I know.
It's true. Nobody knows your neighbor. But I'm glad I'm here. My
Yeah. Now, so how long have you been here now, Louie?
32.
Oh, yeah.
33
So
years.
yeah. So I
My
think
kids are very successful in what they did. They got good jobs. I got 3 grandchildren. I got a nice wife.
got a
I've
life.
been married 49 years.
Oh, there you go.
got a nice life.
Yeah, life is good.
Yeah.
I do stand up for the fun of it. I enjoy it. The day they told me you shouldn't be doing stand up anymore, I don't do it. I have no
You're going to do
career.
the sit down. You're not going to stand up. You're going to do the sit down.
I enjoy doing what I'm doing. But again, this is one of those. But there's no venues out here, nowhere to work. Unless you do showcases for free, there's nowhere to work here.
It's awkward.
What, you got
Some
2
places
comedy
are
clubs?
awkward. Yeah, a few.
You used to have lounges back then. Back
Well,
in
yeah,
my
they
day,
used
they
to
had
have.
lounges.
Yeah, they would have the hotels would have the cocktail lounges, and
Yeah.
you'd go in for the
Right.
12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning shows. I remember seeing Red Fox at 2 o'clock in the
2 o'clock
morning.
in the morning,
You
right.
you just go 2 drink minimum, and you go in there, you sit there and watch. Of course, he was wicked. He was, but
Excuse me.
and yeah, it's a whole different venue now.
Right.
You used to be able to just go see a show, see a headliner, sit in a cocktail lounge, listen to music,
Right.
and see a
It was-
comic.
yeah, it's nothing
And
like that now.
It's very, very different. Very
Nothing.
different. So what's in store for Robin Shaw?
For me,
Yes.
well, I have the show that's. I have the show coming up in Gaithersburg
Right.
that I'm pretty excited about. I haven't gotten too many other things super booked right now, just because I have a little one and school's out, and we, it's time for summer fun. He's 8, so I have to throw him in the pool pretty much every day I can when I have a chance to.
Yeah.
So, but I also do a couple of trivia and bingo nights where I host, and I get to include my comedy every now and then.
Yeah, you're going to be
So-
doing one tonight, aren't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
tonight I'm doing Trivia Tuesday, and then on bingos it's on Wednesday at the Parkway Tavern in Tivoli Village, which is fun and it's free. So, and who doesn't like free stuff? And then I always tell people, because they have a dining room where you can have kids. I'm like, if you want to bring your broke best friends that are out of school right now, you can come play too, and it's free. So technically, why not come have a little bit of fun?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
yeah.
Well, I wish you a lot of luck
Thank
with
you.
that. I wish you a
Absolutely.
lot of
I'm
luck with that.
very excited for the show in Maryland. That's the one thing I'm really looking forward
Well,
to. so.
I want to hear all about it.
I'm
Yeah.
going to make sure someone records a really good
Yes.
recording this time. I have one from last year, and it was not the greatest recording, but that's because, my best friends that are all visiting are all drinking and watching, and, trying to record like this,
Like you're-
and it's like,
like you're on a
what?
cruise ship or
it's a great
something.
shot of my
Yeah.
great shot of my eyeball. Thanks.
Exactly. Well, listen, I cannot believe that our time is like almost up here. This is just crazy. It just always goes by so fast. But I do want to take a couple of minutes here because we do have our summer sweepstakes, and I do have a couple of a couple of subscribers that are out there that have gone in, they've liked, they've shared, they subscribed, and I've got to find my little envelope here. Oh, here it is.
Do you need a drum roll?
The drum roll, please. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Not too loud on the table. Okay. All right. We have 2 more winners. We have Laurel from Arizona and Beverly from California. I swear we have people from all over the country that
That's
are watching
amazing.
the show. Connecticut, Florida, Arizona, California, all over the place. And they are going to be getting gift certificates, $50 gift certificates to go onto our online store so they can get some merchandise. And as you can see here, this is our online store. We have t-shirts, and there we go, we have underwear, and we have wine glasses, and we've got totes, and of course we have these fabulous, fabulous mugs. As you can see here, this is Cougarlicious. Stand in your power, ladies. That's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
That's right.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Louie, anything you want to close off with?
Just basically, I'm going to Buffalo for 3 weeks at the end of June. I'm hoping to do maybe some stand-up. I want to see what venues are open out there. I know they got Helium Comedy Club out there, but I've never been there because that's new since I've been out here. My old home comedy club closed down years ago. So a few of my friends are doing some showcasing and gigs, and I'm
Just
gonna
always
find out.
having a good time.
Yeah,
just
I
enjoying
go
life.
there for the chicken wings and the
There you go.
pizza and the roast beef. That's what I go for.
That'd be
I'm
exciting.
going for the
Yeah.
chicken wings.
I've been to a Helium Comedy Club in Portland. It's nice. They're fun. They're fun.
They got good venues there. It's a nice room.
Okay. Well, anyway, like I said, we're going to have to sign off in a few moments. But like I said, be sure to like, share, subscribe, leave a little comment in the comment box, say hello, let us know who your favorite eye candy is. I always love to hear from you. And with that, let's just say so long for now.
Cougarlicious, in my power I rise with every step I take. I light up the skies, celebrating me. I'm a star shining bright, enjoying all the eye candy under the moonlight. Oh, Cougarlicious, watch me take my stand, moving to the beat. Come and take my hand.
Hey gang, Donna Joy here to tell you about our summer sweepstakes starting now. Just hit the like, share, and subscribe button and be sure to leave a comment. And beginning in June, we'll be drawing names to win special gift certificates at our online store at www.cougarlicious.com. It's a great way to support the channel, and I have much appreciation for all of you. Thank you, and remember to Cougar on.